All we need is a little understanding. Walk a mile in their shoes. And if we keep our hearts open-minded, we'll enjoy this wild ride called life. And if we keep our hearts open-minded, we'll enjoy this wild ride called life.
Oh my gosh, you guys. So thank you for being here on another episode of the True Sweet High podcast. I'm just super excited right now because I have Chris McPhee on the line, and he, sometimes when you meet people, you're like, okay, yeah, they're cool, but then you meet people that are like, I need to like be friends with them. So I'm going to read you something a little bit about Chris, but then I'm going to tell you about how he's like the next best thing ever. So Chris McPhee, he is a PMP certified. We'll talk about that later. 21-year U.S. Army vet, former Green Beret, turned, okay, here it is, project management professional, and your neighborhood camera guy. After retiring from the Army in 2015 with a kit bag full of skills that he developed during his military service, Chris decided to go all in on photography, video production, and podcasting. He is ready to team up with you and help you with your next event, photo, or video project. Chris is available to help you promote your brand, inform, and inspire your audience. So before I let him talk, I'm just going to keep hyping him up a little bit because he is not only my friend, he is my mentor, and everything he does, I'm just in awe of because he is so talented. So talented. So just keep an eye out for Chris McPhee because you're going to see some amazing things happening. Let's see, in the next 3 months. So Chris, thank you for being on here. I'm super excited. I know we've been trying to do this for a while, but you're so busy. So what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for that introduction. I'm over here grinning with the Kool-Aid smile. I was like, you know what? I'm going to need to like widen my door frames in my house because my head is like gigantic now. But no, real talk. I appreciate you from the first time we connected after the Military Influencer Conference last year, 2019. And when you were on the Team Room Talk podcast, I was just starting out. But ever since that day, I think that was the start of us just teaming up and collaborating,
Now, like I said, I was going to hype you up because I truly believe in everything that you're doing. And like I said, when I saw you in action at the MIC last year, I was like, man, who's that guy? He is like all over the place. He must be famous. And so when we really got to talking, and you're just like, like my brother, just I don't know, you're just amazing. So but you have quite a story to tell before we get you into the present. Tell us a little bit about your military history and then your little story.
So I know we our time is limited, so I would definitely be brief and concise so we can get to the good stuff. But let's jump in the DeLorean and go back in time to 1994 when I graduated high school. I'm originally from Miami, Florida. Joined the military 30 days after high school and joined the U.S. Army as a personal admin specialist. So for everybody out there that's listening, I wasn't always a Green Beret. It wasn't something that I aspired to do or I wanted to do, or somebody was in my family who was a former Green Beret or infantry guy or somebody in the 82nd. So it was just, the Army was an option for me to change my position and become, productive in society. So I joined the Army, got stationed to Fort Riley, Kansas, stayed there till about 97. And I PCS to Fort Bragg, North Carolina. I was in the 82nd MP Company. And shortly after getting there, I decided, it was like, you know what? I've been looking at this special forces thing. I don't know too much about it. Because when I first joined, I was like, I'm not going to the field, not jumping out of airplanes. I just want to do some technical, not in the field type stuff. And and by that time, I had gone totally against all of that. So I went to the Special Forces and Assessment and Selection course at Fort Bragg, and then shortly the Q course, the qualification course, and where I was trained, and I became or qualified, trained to be a Special Forces communicator on an operational detachment Alpha, known as the A Team. So nothing like the A Team from that we saw on TV in the 80s, B.A. Baracus, all those folks riding around in the black van with that red stripe on the side, so, but no, I went to the Q course, finished it a long time, about a year and a half in that course, and made it to my first team in 2nd Battalion, 3rd Special Forces Group, Charlie Company. So, shortly after Afghanistan, 9/11 hit. So shortly after that, ended up on a cycle of deployments. The story. Everybody's had that deployment story. Afghanistan, Iraq, multiple rotations. So I did that. I'm not going to bore you too much with that, but it became a point around year 15 where I was like, hey, I need to look at retirement, because I thought I was going to retire as an E7. And here's the first truth here is that I got a DUI at about 2004, 2005, but later on didn't realize at that time I thought I was just young and having fun, but really as I got older I realized I had a problem. And because of that mistake I made, or let's take that back. We make mistakes of things we don't know, but you do something stupid because we know better. So I did something stupid, and I paid for it. Got passed over for a promotion about 3-4 times, and then finally I got some help, got some mentors online that helped me. It was like, hey, this is what you need to do. This is how you get yourself together and present yourself to the board, and you might get promoted. And I did that, and it happened. But at that point, I was still focusing on retirement and transitioning. So I stayed a year later, and I was able to work through that. But still, the drinking problem I had still was with me through transition, and even after transition. Well, actually, let me take that back. Actually, around 2013, and I'll jump in. It's a good time for this story. 2013. This is where the truth became. It came into the light, and I had to deal with it. And it was New Year's Eve day, 2012, and like I always do, get wasted, pass out, have a party, whatever, multiple bottles of alcohol. But really, when I look back, we were just self-medicating from all the things and we've been dealing with, that we've been seeing, the problems in our lives, not understanding, but just wanting to not feel or think about those things. So drinking or whatever substance we take takes us out of temporary state until we're like recover, and then we're able to deal with it again. But then it's this cycle back and forth, round and round and round and round until it spirals into something drastic. So for me, I pretty much became to the point where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I just cold turkey. 2012, I woke up New Year's Eve walking my dog Smurf, and I was taking a walk. It was about 5:30 in the morning, and I'm just like, you know what? I just need to do something that will, one thing that would change my life, and get me out of this state. And something was just like, you should stop drinking. I was like, okay, you know what? Let me try that, because that has caused me some problems, relationship, on the job, promotion, advancement, fitness. I was a big marathon runner, but I was waging, well, if I drink these 3 days, then I run these 3 days. So it was totally counterproductive. So that's one reason why I stopped running races after like 8 marathons. I was just like, you know what? I never qualified for Boston, but that was what was keeping me from training even harder, or let me go maybe 1 or 2 notches where I needed to be to qualify for Boston, because I was drinking and I was partying still and still trying to manage it, and coming to the realization that I had a problem. So yeah, it was just a wake up in the morning and cold turkey. And people say, "Hey man, you didn't go to any AA programs?" I was like, "No," because growing up as a kid, my stepdad, he had a drinking problem and a drug problem. So I just remember going to those AA meetings like, "Hey, my name is Chris. I'm a recovering alcoholic." And I was just like, man, I don't even want to go through that, because, it's just a leveling experience where you just come level with yourself in the world and realize you have a problem. That's the first step, is just identifying that you have a problem, and then you begin to heal. But until you come to that truth that it is an issue, it's not going to happen for you. I don't care how you try to shape it, or deal with it, or cover it up, put lipstick on it. It's still a pig, so so no, 12 months. I decided I needed a carrot and polo shirts. So at Fort Bragg, there was a outlet like 45 minutes, Smithfield. So every month, as a reward to myself, because I blew so much money at a bar, that I would drive there and I would get a new polo shirt. And that's what I did every month. I would drive up there, think about what I did, was excited, get another, just walk right in, and the one I wanted, wasn't no like, oh shoot, this is like $50. Like, ooh, oh, this is, anybody who's ever been to a polo outlet, uh, the prices in it. So I would just walk in. I'd be like, you know what, this one, you got this in this size? And I would just buy it, because the amount of money I wasted at a bar or in one night, you'd be like, what? Yeah, and we won't go into those numbers, but that's how I did it. And, did that for about the first year, the second year. And then, even now when I get my anxiety attacks, or I get in a weird place, or I feel a little overwhelmed and stressed, I eat chocolate. So, so chocolate, good chocolate. So Godiva chocolate, any fancy chocolate to substitute that feeling. Then, also do other stuff too. I got my little things that I use to, just feel that. Yeah, just that first year was polo shirts. The second year, I think I started getting better about dealing with that. And then, just chocolate, it was my thing. Now it's been 7 years.
Wow.
I've been sober for 7 years. And when I get up against the wall a little bit, whether it be life is feeling a little stressful, this little voice comes and he's like, hey, what's up?